As always, what we're doing is we're looking for those short-term options. We want to decrease pain and increase range of motion quickly. It's Band-Aid a little bit, but if you apply a Band-Aid long enough while something's healing, sometimes that's all you need. And if you've got a good rehab program, sometimes this is just going to keep you in training. The long term, obviously, we want to increase mobility and flexibility if that's an issue. Most people have a strength deficit when we get into some of these movements. Muscular endurance becomes a problem. So you might be strong enough to get into position, but you can't hold it for very long. And then we want to decrease sensitivity. That's a big one. Tissues get sensitive. They feel like they're hurt, or it feels like you have an injury, but there's probably not any actual tissue damage. It's just you're hypersensitive. So what are ways that we can decrease sensitivity? Why we do this? As always, avoidance is not really a plan. You can take a day off, you can take a week off, but beyond that, for most things, even for post-surgery, pretty much immediately we get people moving, doing something. And you could train around things for a little bit if you need to, but we're also looking for ways to work through the issues, not work around them. So workshopping your options is valuable. Today we'll workshop 4 different things. You got kind of 3 options. 3 things could happen. You could get better. It could actually improve things, which is good. There could be no change, which doesn't mean it's good or bad. You might just need a variation of it. Maybe you haven't done it long enough. Maybe it's something you need to do for a couple months, or you get worse. So today you might actually provoke some pain and get worse. But regardless of which 3 of those things happen, we have information. It's very rare that you get worse, but when you do, it shouldn't be discouraging. It gives you a ton of information because you know specifically what you need to work on. There's no guessing anymore. Like you found that movement or that position that you need to work on. So what causes these problems? There's a lot of different causes, but I think I'll break it down into 3 issues. Most of the time, there's a strength deficit or a muscular endurance deficit. Resistance can hurt. So maybe you're not weak, but resistance is a problem. That's usually a tendon issue. You could be too tight or too loose. So you've got mobility, flexibility, stability problems. Some type of combo of the 3 is usually present, and that's what you'll see in the gym. Other factors, poor recovery is probably the biggest one. And this is the stuff no one wants to talk about. Nutrition, sleep, training habits, mentality. Those are all big on recovery. So you don't want you don't want someone to identify as injury prone, and you don't want someone in this case to be like, my bad shoulder. So if I have an athlete who's like, yeah, my bad shoulder, it's like, you need to shut up. Like, you don't say that, you don't think that, you don't have a bad shoulder. You know what I mean? Because if that's in the back of your mind and you're always thinking that, you will compensate for it. And your fears and expectations, they have an influence on the way you train and the way you perform. So mentality is a big one that most people don't think about.